It's very important. I mean, you were witness to the situation last year. They didn't make the playoffs. Like, newsflash. As great as they finished the season,
Playoffs.
that 1-6 start, and as many as like the Minnesota game was kind of close. You can say the Seattle game was actually kind of close. Take away that pick six, that's a W.
Philadelphia game was close.
Philadelphia game was close. Like, that matters. Even for the teams that didn't start that way, Seattle, and I mean, you look at Pittsburgh. I mean, there's also so many teams that made the playoffs. This is Green Bay. Green Bay didn't make the playoffs. Seattle didn't start like that, and they made the playoffs. I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Seattle started like 4-0, 5-0.
Yeah.
I remember it was like one of the surprise starts. Like, what the fuck's going on there? You know,
They were hot.
We're up until they face the Lions, but it's crucial. There's no debate about it. I don't care what anybody has to say. You can see the team rallied around each other last year and they ended up winning games. They didn't make the playoffs in doing so, and you know the stat. Starting 0-2 don't work well for you. Mm-hmm. The Bengals did it this year. They were one of the anomalies, but outside of my beliefs, Joe Burrow is him.
Yes.
And I think Joe Burrow's still very, very talented, but like that's also
he's Tua Tagovailoa?
a special. He's better than Tua Tagovailoa. Shout out Neil Rule, but he's definitely they're a special team. You know, between just the pairing of Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase alone, and to climb themselves out of that 0-2 start. I mean, they had it, and they're a damn good coach. The coach is actually really good ass coach too.
Yeah.
But they have to start fast. We can't have none of that, in my opinion.
Yeah. First of all, for our jobs, like, start fast. It'd be so much better if we were talking about the Lions 2-1 through 3 games than it would be 1-2 or 0-3. Mm-hmm. And you're right. This is a team that they captured that momentum at the end of the season in those last 10 games, and they looked like they could beat anybody. They're going out there, and they were playing great football, playing their best football of the year. Almost beating Buffalo. Going in there, aside from the Carolina game, those last 8 games of the year, they were playing as good, if not better, football than anybody in the NFL. So you can't afford to start off slow like that again. With the expectations you have on this team, with expecting them to finally win the NFC North for the first time in franchise history, to make a playoff run, to get a playoff victory for the first time in 30 years, you need them to get off the bat hot. Because if not, you'll be playing catch-up the entire year. And this schedule is not as favorable as it was last year because you're looking at games that you hope to have wins in that are not guaranteed wins or like, oh yeah, they're going to win that game. When you look at Tampa Bay, at Baltimore, at New Orleans, at Los Angeles Chargers, home against the Broncos, at the Cowboys, like these aren't gimmies. You don't have gimmies in the second half of your schedule. So you need to take advantage and beat the teams you're supposed to beat at the beginning of the year and even call out one that maybe you're not favored to win in, whether that is the Chiefs or the Seattle Seahawks. You need to go out there. You need to assert your dominance in the standings in the NFL, live up to the expectations that the fans of the teams have, and start out hot. You can't afford another slow start. If you want to win this division, if you want to make the playoffs, if you want to be this team that everybody in the national and local media is hyping you up to be, rightfully so, because of the way you finished the season last year and the additions you made to this team, you got to go out there and you got to get some wins in the beginning of the season. You can't start one season.